We have taken the fight to the doorsteps of National Lottery Commission, because what was meant to uplift the poor has been hijacked by the corrupt criminals. Millions meant for community development are at risk, while young people die without jobs, without sports facilities, and without hope. We have called for justice for the crimes of apartheid because we cannot continue to pretend that the blood of our martyrs has dried. It has not. The murderers of the past live with impunity. They write books, they receive Nobel Prizes, they appear on television, they are celebrated as statesmen, while the families of the murdered know no justice. We want the TRC recommendation implemented. We want those who committed crimes against humanity to face the full might of the law, and will not rest until there is justice for our people. Fighters, we say today at the funeral of our young people that our struggle is global. The pain of our children is connected to the pain of children in Palestine, where bombs are dropped on homes, hospitals, and schools. The screams of mothers in Gaza echo the cries we hear here. We say to the Israeli apartheid regime, the world is watching, and history will judge you harshly. The EFF stands firmly with the people of Palestine and will never be neutral in the face of genocide. We stand in full solidarity with Iran, a country under siege from Western imperialism for choosing independence. We reject the bullying of this nation by the United States, Israel, and its allies. And we stand by their right to defend themselves by any means necessary. Let Israel finally have a taste of the devastation and violence it has perpetrated in Gaza. We are anti-imperialist because we understand that our struggle for freedom is bound to the struggle of all oppressed people across the world. As we reflect on the lives of the young people we are laying to rest today, young people whose lives were full of potential and courage, we must also lift our eyes beyond our borders and draw strength from examples of youth who are living proof that another future is possible. One such example is the fearless and principled revolutionary, Captain Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso, who took power not out of greed, but out of an urgent need to liberate his people from the clutches of neo-colonialism and foreign military domination. Traore is a living symbol of the return of revolutionary leadership in Africa. He is a young man who, like Thomas Sankara before him, has rejected Western puppet regime, expelled French troops from Burkina Faso soil, and reclaimed the dignity of his people. At only 36 years old, Traore has shown more courage and conviction than many leaders twice his age. He has put his life on the line to defend his nation's sovereignty and natural resources. He has stood firm in the face of threats from imperialist forces, and he has remained the world that Africa is not for sale. We invoke his name here today because he represents the future our young people could have. Because when we speak of the youth who died in this tragedy, we must also speak of the youth who are still standing, still fighting, and still changing the world. Captain Traore is one of them. We say to our young people, do not be discouraged by this dark moment. Be inspired by it. Take the spirit of those we bury today and let it fuel your fire. Let it remind you that leadership does not come with age. It comes with clarity of purpose, with love for the people, and with a willingness to confront injustice wherever it shows itself. The EFF calls on the youth of South Africa and the continent to follow in the footsteps of young revolutionaries like Traore by rising, organizing, and building a future where Africa is free from exploitation, free from foreign control, and free from leaders who serve only themselves. As we mourn the lives of these young people, we are reminded of a painful truth. In this country, to be young and black is to suffer. Our young people die not only on buses, in car crashes, but they die in silence every day. They die from hunger, from depression, from hopelessness, and from a system that has abandoned them. Today, 45.1% of South Africa's youth are unemployed. Almost 1 in every 2 young people is without work. They wake up every morning with no salary, no opportunity, and no dignity. They stand on the street corners with degrees and diplomas, while others are denied even the chance to study because this government has still failed to deliver free, quality, decolonized education, and a promise made on stages and forgotten in boardrooms. Meanwhile, we live in a country where prisoners receive 3 meals a day, have access to free uniform, and are offered education and rehabilitation programs, while young people go to bed on empty stomachs, wear torn clothes, and are forced to drop out of school because they cannot afford registration fees. We do not say this to dehumanize prisoners, many of whom are victims of the very same system. But we must ask, how can a government feed and clothe those it has arrested, but refuse to feed and educate those it claims to represent? It is a contradiction that speaks to the core of this regime's failure. It invests more in prison maintenance than it does in human development. It builds more jails than schools. It responds to poverty not with opportunity but with punishment. That is why the EFF calls for the introduction of a permanent unemployment grant in South Africa, a basic income that restores some measures of dignity to the millions who are trapped outside of the economy through no fault of their own. This country can afford it. There is no shortage of money, only shortage of political will. We have 700 million for useless national dialogue, but when it comes to feeding the children of the poor, suddenly the budget is under pressure. 700 million of ukukhuluma, asikhulume, vulamlomo, 700 million is available for such nonsensical programs, yet our people are unemployed. We say to this government, the youth are watching. They will not forget your indifference. The EFF will continue to fight inside Parliament and in streets until every young person has access to free education, decent work, and a basic income that affirms their humanity.
This is Adaka Africa, bringing you the latest.
Tell us what you think in the comment. Like and share to friends and family. See you in the next video.